Hi, I'm Brian. I play the drums. This is a drum. Ah!
Hello, I am Anthony, and I play bass in Callout. I jump around between a few basses. I have an 8-string, I have my 6-string, and I have my 4-string. That one has bats on the fretboard. It is excessive.
I'm Becky. I play guitar in Callout. I almost forgot my band name. Hello. I have 3 guitars, 2 of which are here currently. This was my very first guitar ever. Well, not my very first ever. I also have an acoustic at home. But this is my first electric guitar. It's like a little chip over here. I don't know how that happened, but it's a PRS. It's an SC245. And for those of you who know me, know that I really love PRS guitars. It's just one of those things where like you pick it up and it's like an extension of you. That's how guitars should be, you know? It plays beautifully. It's not like super cold like my Les Pauls in terms of tone, but it's not super twangy like Jake's Fender Telecaster.
Yeah, fuck Jake.
And I don't know, it's just really lightweight. It allows me to run around the stage, which I enjoy doing. I don't wear heels on stage because I'll fall on my face. So yeah, it's signed by Hailstorm. So this guitar, it's actually a funny story. I don't know the history of this guitar whatsoever. I do know that it's called Sparkle Bitch though. It has a broken string because I broke it. And the story of this guitar, we played, well, it was 2 sets at Music Fest, and then we played a show here at home. So we drove an hour there to Pennsylvania, played 2 sets, and drove an hour home and played a set here. And a friend of ours brought this guitar with him, and he opened it and he's like, yo, if you want it, like, you could get it. And I pretty much, like, what happened was I walked off stage after our set and I bought this guitar, and now it's mine. And this is Sparkle Bitch, the Les Paul, whose history I don't know. Does not play as well as my white one. However, it is still very beautiful for stage purposes, and I like it. Yeah, that's it.
Hey guys, I'm Jake. I play guitar in the band, as well as other assorted sounds when they need it to be played. So this is my main guitar that I use for pretty much all the live stuff. It's an American Standard Tele. Yeah, made in USA. I bought it like a year and a half ago. Sounds great. I think Teles have a really nice kind of twang, especially with distortion when you go through like the right amps and the right pedals. They've got a lot more of that kind of high-end frequency, a little bit more of the sustain and the fretboard up here, which I really kind of like. This is my first serious electric guitar. It's Epiphone, but it still sounds amazing. I've played it for like 10 years now.
You hear that squeak, guys?
Yeah, everything on it is
beautiful. That tone of the squeak is so perfect.
I've had this. We recorded the whole first EP. I used this one. Both of our first EPs, even the ones that you guys don't know about, was used with this. It actually really does sound really nice. It's got a ton of dings and dents in it. There's like a hole right under the strings. I have no idea how that got there. It's a lot warmer than my Tele, so it's really good for kind of like bluesy and like clean tones. Whenever we record clean stuff, I usually use this. So this is basically my standard setup. It's an old PV 4x12 with Celestion speakers, except the bottom left one is broken. So that sucks. I should probably get that repaired. I have an orange dual terror. I picked this up off a friend from my first band like 6 years ago. I bought the head like a year and a half ago. It was kind of busted when I bought it, so I got it repaired. Sounds great. I mean, it's like a $1,200 amp. I got it for like 600 bucks. And my pedal board is pretty simple. I don't really have anything going on here that most people don't. Tuner, wireless pack. This is like a heavy distortion kind of tone, which is really good for solos and stuff, although I haven't used it in a long time. I use this Black Star drive for most of my main distortion tones, and I just leave the amp on clean and then kind of just have this doing all of the distortion for me. Just a noise suppressor. It actually kind of helps with like blocking all the distortion. It should be at the end of the chain. I don't know why it's not, but I kind of like the effects coming after it with some of the throwing. Yeah, and then there's a phase pedal and a delay. The delay is kind of broken. It works about 50% of the time. The phase sounds great though.
This is my pedal board. It's normally even more simple than this. I added the flanger today. Just a noise suppressor, combo drive, you know, the Polytune wireless. I don't go too crazy. I'm very like plug in and play, and that's it.
Distortion on, distortion off. That's all you need.
Yeah, yeah. As a bassist, what inspires you, or what made you want to play bass?
One of my favorite ones is an old Rancid riff, Journey to the End of East Bay. That was always one of my favorite riffs. My old bass teacher, Craig Marshall, he's like, hey, I want you to learn a riff. It's really fun. It has 4 parts. You're gonna love it. And I'm like, yay! Another one of my favorite riffs is Aeroplane by Chili Peppers. I like arpeggiating chords, jumping around the scales.
I mean, I actually listen to a lot more like indie kind of music and stuff than I really do rock. I listen to like a lot of Lord Huron, a lot of like Alt J and Tame Impala, none of which fit into what we play at all, but I don't even really take their inspirations into what we write. One of the parts in Nevermore I kind of got inspired by Hailstorm with. I was trying to learn the bridge to Love Bites, and I don't
You like overcomplicated
I overcomplicated what it was supposed to be, and I ended up writing the bridge of Nevermore by accident.
How does that go?
What are some bands that influenced you in the way you play and write?
Hailstorm is a huge one. I also really like 6 a.m. There's a composer by the name of Villalobos. Well, if only it was in tune. Nevermore has a really complicated... Nevermore was one of those songs that I wrote and I really hated myself for it. Because the way that it jumps... And then from here you have to slide into this note. So it's like a lot of fun scale stuff. I like weird chords. I like stretching my fingers in that manner.
When I was learning initially, I've been drumming for about 13 years, and when I was learning, jazz was the very first style I was taught when I started taking lessons in middle school. And then I started getting into Green Day and Tree Cool as a drummer, and I started listening to Yellow Card's drummer, and around the time I joined this band, I really got into Travis Barker as a drummer from Blink-182 because he kills it. And my goal was just to be weirder than them. Woo! I have a Tama Imperial Star kit that I started on, and the kit that I record on is an SJC custom that I bought from the dudes over in Keep Flying. They're really awesome. And this snare drum that I like to yell into, like this, ah! is my baby. This ride cymbal is mine, and these hi-hats, they are Bison's Dark hi-hats, which is like a super classy brand. I've recorded the last 3 albums I've been on these hi-hats, and so that's like 4 or 5 years, and I love them.
What do you guys think of our writing process? What would you like to tell people about it?
Our writing process is a fucking mess, and sometimes it's absolutely beautiful, and sometimes it's just months of disappointment. It's kind of hit or miss. You never know. Like today was great. Today we wrote a full song.
It's agenda. It's agenda. Some cuppies.
Moving on.
Bridge. Okay. We all work really well together. When like one of us doesn't like something or enough of us doesn't like something, we either change it or like just come up with something completely different. I actually like that a little more.
I don't like pause. I don't like stick clicks. I don't I don't know what to do.
Sometimes you just kind of hit a roll and the song writes itself, and that's like the best part because you just kind of end up with this awesome piece of music that you wrote that day. One of us was like bum, 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 and like the other person is like by themselves. We could totally do like a stage thing where all of us like gather around somebody bum, 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 and then they're just like, oh no.
Yeah, I dig that. So the advice that I have for anybody who wants to write songs, don't mimic. Well, actually, when you start a band, try mimicking sounds you enjoy and learn riffs that you like, because if you know what you like and what you don't like, then that's going to open doors to more creativity, and don't like close your mind on something. Like when we started Callout, I just wanted to be in a hard rock band and he wanted to be in a pop punk punk band.
I just got out of a pop punk band too. Like, yeah, and then we started and we were like, well, what do you want to write? And we were like, I don't know.
And that's like when
Take Me Home.
Yeah, Take Me Home. Which, by the way, here's a clip of it. When you learn a song, or even you learn a song, like there's so much happiness that comes with it, because you're like, yeah, I can play guitar. So like I learned I Miss the Misery by Hailstorm. That was like the first song I ever learned. Like that was the first song I think I went to when I got the guitar.
I started playing guitar when I was about 10, and I met Becky when I was 14. So I was playing for 4 years, and I wasn't very good. I was just like as good as you would be at 14 if you liked punk rock, which is like you can play power chords and you can play a few lead lines and whatever. At least for me, that's what it was. But it was funny because I was like, yeah, Becky, like you should learn guitar, and I didn't like think she was actually gonna learn it, but she was. And then like a year later, she came back and she was like just as good as I was. Like me at 5 years or whatever.
I'm really mad at me.
And then like another year later, she was better than me, and I was like, wait a second.
At 16, I learned I Miss the Misery, and you took my acoustic guitar away from me, and you're like, you're gonna go upstairs and play the electric guitar, and I was terrified. I took it, and it's heavy, and I'm like, I'm gonna break this shit. So like, I just kind of like went through it. And that's like where the addiction started, and like you said, at 16, on my sweet 16, that was the first song we ever played to people. Not under a name, it was just me and Jake, and that's it, just two kids jamming. And then we started Callout as an acoustic thing.
Yeah, yeah, it was. We played a few acoustic shows.
Yeah. Hold your breath, child, don't you rush, just relax, feel the pleasure of sitting back. Push the pedal down and take me home. We made a mic. Okay, so you guys see everything here, right? Everything here. We got nice guitar stand, and we got amps that don't work, we got mic stands that also don't work, a mixer that's done.
Mic stands that don't work. Do they stand? Not really.
If you want to be in a band, just freaking do it. That's all I have to say. Like, we built a mic stand out of a tripod.
I had a camera tripod and a $10 Radio Shack mic. Did we have speakers down here? I don't remember.
We had no speakers.
We must have had.
I had my really tiny, like, Fender practice amp, and you had your Line 6.
Yeah.
It's like really freaking rewarding because we released an EP and that EP made us open for Hollywood Undead, and then we opened for Palais Royale, and then we opened for September Morning, and like all these.
4 Years Strong.
Oh, and 4 Years Strong.
And then
and Butcher Babies.
Oh,
which is
don't forget Hollywood Undead again.
nice, yeah.
Again.
And Music Fest.
It's
And
a
Music
Music
Fest.
Fest.
This is
which
all off one EP. Like, I'm
yeah.
excited to do an album.
you guys like just if you have the heart for it, like we don't just sit here and make things happen. Okay, yeah, we kind of do, but we also don't. It's like there's a lot of sleepless nights.
Give me more advice.
You have those moments where like the obsession like becomes hungry. You're like, yeah, I need to do more of this.
I need to feed my instrument and make it grow big and strong.
Replaying moments from today, it's like the dun 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 dun. It goes left, right, left, right, left, right.
Yeah.
That
was actually the question.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. So then you start the next one and I finish it.
Yeah.
Alright.
We did it. Yeah, something like
Today
that.
was a productive day.
That's like excitement that you want to be chasing all the time. Like the way that the ballads go on the album, like one day is like Becky got sad, and then Tears on My Poetry is Becky got sad 2.0.
Again.
So, that's how the songs go.
We're gonna write a happy song. What's the song gonna be about?
Depression. So what's this song gonna be about? Addiction.
Shout out to Respucia, shout out to Life's Affairs. You always hear about, oh, you gotta practice your instrument all the time. You gotta practice your instrument all the time. You gotta practice your music all the time. You really do. You never know how good you can be and how good you will be unless you put in that commitment and practice.
That goes both like
Also-
band-wise and individually.
Also, like the big thing with that is that you never know when you're gonna have an opportunity to like impress someone important or like play for someone important. A lot of the music industry is finding the right connections, and a lot of it is being ready for when those connections are made, because you're not gonna get bigger shows without knowing the right people, but you're also not gonna get bigger shows if you suck at your instrument.
There are moments on stage also. The thing about having chemistry with your band is unbelievably important, because when you're on stage, if I like say someone plays a riff like longer than it should be, right? You're not gonna yell across the stage. You better not. You're not gonna yell across the stage. Be like, hey, Jake, I fucked up. You know, let's. I will kill you.
Do it.
You're not gonna yell across the stage and be like, yo guys, hold up. We gotta stop. I messed up. That's it. We gotta start over. That's not gonna happen on stage. You only have.
That was by accident. I swear.
You only have 30-minute sets. Yes, this is 30. You only have like 30-minute sets. You don't want to waste your time just, messing up or whatever. You want to be all on the same page. Like,
Be prepared for random crap to go wrong on stage, because random crap always goes wrong on stage.
oh my god, at Starlight Ballroom, my microphone kept going down, and you just see me, and I'm like, Lost Generation, and I like. That you just keep
You
going.
deal with
That's
it. Always have something ready to be like improvised. Like practice some improv in like your practice time, because you never know when like someone breaks a string or their guitar explodes, and like
Learn
you
to tell
need.
some really bad jokes.
Yeah, you better stock up on bad jokes because the worst thing to do on stage is to stand there in silence because
Or
everyone's.
say that you messed up.
Or say that you
Don't
messed up.
Don't say you messed up.
Don't acknowledge your mistakes
Yeah.
because
Also have
no one else
fun.
knows it.
Yeah, always have fun.
If you're not having fun, then what makes it worth it?
The best piece of advice I could actually probably give to being in a band, or kind of just in general, is be resourceful and keep your chin up. You're doing stuff, and that you can do stuff, and be
And you will
resourceful,
do
and yeah, and you will do stuff, and work with what you have, because you can only start where you are.
Oh, always stay humble.
Fundamentally, just be a good human being.
Yeah, just be. I mean, there's no reason you should be a bad person. It's not like, oh, I play guitar. Like, fuck all of you. No, like that's not how it works. Like you're only organizing sound in a manner that's attractive to other people's
I play
ears.
a piece
like,
of
you
wood
know?
with strings.
Yeah, like that. Wow, you're so cool. Don't touch me, like please. You have to understand who you're playing with, and understand each other's views and goals throughout the journey. Because if someone is going this way and you're going this way, then you guys are not going the right direction, and that's just not going to work out. So definitely have a common goal in mind. Be open and honest about what your needs are and what you see in the future.
And with enough lines, Anthony's hand will be purple.
That's blue.
Why am I letting this happen? Wait a minute. I don't know.
With us, as people, we're just the four of us. We're family at this point. We understand each other.
No, we don't.
Exactly. Even if you don't plan on starting a band, just make sure you hang around the best people you can.
If you notice, we burned our cabs blue because we were doing a smoke bomb photo shoot, and we were like, you know, it's a great idea. We're gonna put the smoke bombs on the cabs, and it's a great idea, and the photo shoot looks great, and luckily the stain looks cool, but that's probably never gonna come out.
So this
Slight blue damage.
guitar strap I got as a gift. Again, like my guitar is signed by Hailstorm. When I was younger, back in high school, I used to travel a lot for them. And before I even had a band, people believed in me, and so shout out to Ben who got me this strap. I do still use it and I do still love it, and I don't know, everything is like a piece of history at this point. Like, don't forget where you came from.
Hold up, let's rewind. I am out of my